Okay, what's going on, everybody? This your boy I Snap Zo. I'm here with another stream today, and today we're gonna go over a few things. Um, just to be clear, we did do a stream yesterday. The headline for yesterday's stream was Earth Mother in the Forgotten Realm. Today is gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna just build on a couple of miscellaneous things. Um, let's see here. Hold on, just give me a sec, guys. Those of you who are tuning in to the stream today, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Please hit the like and subscribe and notification bell so you guys can be notified whenever I do go online. That's important. As far as that, the build today is the blueprint. Just blueprint for today is how do we maneuver in the forgotten realm? So now a lot may say, and I'm gonna share my stream so people that wants to come in, they can be able to click the link and join the stream if they want, but I'm not gonna let anybody in. Those of you who have been with me on local acts and local podcast streams, you guys are welcome to join the stream if you want. But we're gonna get back to what we're talking about. So how do we maneuver in the Forgotten Realms? Now, at first, I wanted to understand the concept and get you guys to understand the concept as well. 'Cause it's not that I don't understand, it's that I would like my following and the people that tune into my life and most concerned about the way that I do things, I want them to understand something about themselves as well. So the blueprint in the Forgotten Realms. Why do we forget? What's the reasons that we move or operate in certain frequencies and things like that? So we're going to go over all those different scenarios. Let's see if anybody's going to join. No one joins. So give me a minute, guys. Okay, guys. So when we say, okay, there's things that we're unsure of and frequencies that we operate in where we're not sure why we operate in them and we're not sure why we feel the way we feel. So I want to explain the definition of memory. Memory is the faculty by which the mind stores and remembers information. It is something remembered from the past or a recollection. So when we tend to forget the new things that we experience, we tend to put them somewhere in our mind, like a storage, to remember the information of the experiences that we faced. So when you say, if we're so intelligent. Why is there uh blockage when it comes to remembering things or certain information? Why can't we just go through life, come to life, come come within life with all the necessary information that we may need to move forward? So a lot of bills, a lot of people tend to go off a subject and things like that. But when you base the forgotten realm off of fear, it will prevent you from understanding or progressing to truth. So it's like we live in a world where the world is based upon fear. Intimidation is key to everything. They say patience is key to everything, but in reality, fear is key to everything. We have laws for a reason. We have detention centers for a reason. We have all these things that forces you to be submissive, forces you to submit if you consciously choose not to. All of this world that we live in, called the forgotten realms, forces you to obey, forces you to, you know, suppress your truer self, your inner self, your truer inner self, with the rules, the made up rules, the made up restrictions. Everything is made up. There isn't anything that has a actual law to it. Everything is made up. This is an illusion. So it's all about the way you carry yourself, you hold yourself. If you allow people to manipulate your emotions, manipulate the way that you feel, that makes you happy, then you're operating in a lower frequency called fear. Um, Manipulation is something that people of low standards use when they feel threatened. Um, Physically, emotionally, or it can be spiritually. But these entities will use fear or intimidation, which is a subconscious form of fear, to manipulate matter. And those that follow me, those of my followers that understand the personality traits that I carry and who I say I am, I know you respect, and you don't mean any disrespect or harm. But it's just, it has to be told to the ones that follow me, the ones that lead in my footsteps, the ones that see me as a person that has been, done wrong, or look looked at me as like I never thought he would make it out. I never thought he would. This is who I'm talking to. But for the ones who are opposed of me and for the other side, I just don't have anything to prove to you, because you are we, and we are everything. So without me, there would be no you. So without you, there would be no me. So we have to understand, once we come into realization with that, then we have eliminated all the factors of intimidation, fear. So when we understand that fear plays a big role in the average person's life, um, then they look at the ones that don't move in fear or do not operate in fear as threats. So when you see one as a threat, you would have the intentions of, hey, I need to probably remove this threat, or potentially get someone that can remove this threat to be aware of this threat. So You have to understand that everyone is of a different belief system. And I am of a different belief system. You are of a different belief system. One thing that I do in all of my streams, I do not tell you before you press play, you have to be a part of my movement or my. So anything that I do, any information or anything that I envision for you and all my viewers, I'm not forcing you guys to do it. You guys are tuning into my frequency. You guys are tuning into my channel. So understand this is for you guys. This is what I bring to you. This is my present for your presence. So for the people that believe in what they believe, that's your belief system. And when you get your own channel, when you get your own platform, then identity your identity can be promoted or marketed the way you choose. This isn't for marketing purposes. This isn't for any type of cult. This isn't for any type of anything. This is for the people who I indulge with or interact with. And it never is it a problem when it comes down to myself. Because at the end of the day, I am one and you are zero. At the end of the day, you are one and I am zero. So when we understand that fear is an unpleasant feeling triggered by the perception of danger, even if it's real or imagined, we'll understand that sometimes it causes excessive worry and intrusive thought. So for a person to want a person to be stuck or troubled by intrusive thought, that is someone that is willing to intimidate matter in every which way or form that they can. So understand anyone that walks with me, we do not fear. We don't get intimidated. I Snapzo. I am of the Tano tribe. I am from the Owakin people. So whatever you think that white man does not know, he knows. Whatever you think that he doesn't, he has gotten from our people already. So you can take the man's teaching or whatever teachings you're living by and you hold so effortlessly high standards for, but in the end of the day, there's only one, and that's you. So don't humiliate God because we are you, and you are we. Now, today I wanted to build with a couple of people, but I don't really think anyone is going to join the stream. So I'm just going to piggyback off of the things that we talked about yesterday. Now, in yesterday's stream, I was talking about a young game designer, and how he made a living off of Dungeons and Dragons. And what we were talking about was Earth Mother and how she presides over the earth and make sure that there's fertility, planting, and agriculture for good harvest. We went over some things about the daughter of Demetrius having been abducted by Hades and being taken to the underworld to serve as his wife. And all of these things that led up to the Forgotten Realm. So when we think of the Forgotten Realms, we don't obviously think of anything because it's disguised as a video game, which is a four or role playing game. So there's different characters you can switch between that has a sole principle or sole duty, so to speak, um, within the realm. So every character plays an important realm that helps uh maneuver or so to say explore the forgotten realms. So and of course we're not born with it. We learn them. So in forgotten realms, these are abilities that they are born with. And as they get older, they inherit new abilities. So when we think about the forgotten realms, okay, when we think about the forgotten realm, what do we think about? Now, when I think about forgotten realms, I think about a place where knowledge really wouldn't exist unless people were willing to tell you. Um, which that doesn't make sense because if a certain group of people know something that another group of people don't know and would never find out, what people don't you think that that group of people would eventually be eradicated because of the things that they fall victim of not knowing? So a group of people that know something that's very valuable that a certain group of individuals do not know, wouldn't you think that will eradicate a certain group of individuals because they don't live by a certain standard? And a group that does live by a certain standard that they were taught and that they learned, lived by, who would you think live longer? Excluding exclude all like uh accidents, like unnecessary or unexpected accident. But if everyone in one group were living the right way, and everyone in the opposite group were living the right way sometimes, what group would you think survived the longest? The group that knows more information than the group that have been sent to the forgotten realm and they don't really know anything. They don't know how to start a fire themselves. They don't know how to do um wood chopping so that they can be able to have the necessaries to the necessities to start a fire. Who would you think would survive longer? The group that taught themselves, learned it from others, taught themselves, taught others in the village, and then they survived. But the other group who doesn't know anything, they haven't been taught anything. People refuse to tell them anything. They're gonna die out before the other group. So these are things that we have to understand. And there's a group of people that refuse to let another group of people survive because they feel their group of people are at risk of extinction. So when you say extinction, they don't mean extinction for everyone. They mean extinction to a certain group of individuals. So when you have families that turn their backs on their families and they die effortlessly, that lineage is forgotten. That lineage is gone. So when you're living in the forgotten realm, it's easy to be forgotten. It's easy to have uh things be manipulated because we're already roaming in the forgotten realm. So when we understand how important this is, we will understand that this this isn't just any folklore classic. This is something that has been based on the truth. Now, the religion of the Forgotten Realms have consist of deities and their followers being an integral part of the world. They do not have a passive role, but in fact interact directly in mortal affairs. They answer prayers and have their own personal agendas. All deities must have worshippers to survive, and all mortals must worship a Patreon, that sounds like Patreon. And all mortals must worship a patron deity to secure a good afterlife. Do you guys hear that? A huge number of diverse deities exist within several polytheistic pa- pantheons, a large number of supplements that have been documented, many of them, some more than others. And this game creator, Mr. Ed Greenwood, he created a pantheon of gods for his own version of Dungeons and Dragons game. So in his simulation of the Forgotten Realms, which he introduced in his article Down to Earth Divinity, you guys could check that out from the Dragon number 54 in October 1981. He released it. So you guys could go and check that out and see his imperial description of what he feels is the Forgotten Realm, is the history of the realms. So much of the history of the realms detailed in novels and source books. So you guys can hear about the Forgotten Realms and a lot of good novels that they have. And it concerns a various of deities and chosen mortal representatives with a portion of their deity powers, such as a person named Ilminster, Fozol, Chambrel, Midnight, who later became the new embodiment of the goddess of magic with a K. Mistra and the Seven Sisters. Above all of these deities is AO the Overlord. AO does not sanction worshippers and distances himself from mortals. He is single handedly responsible for the time of troubles, God's war, as seen in one of Eric Greenwood's Avatar trilogies. So understand that the Forgotten Realms is more than a campaign. It's more than a controversial D&D book. And in his content, he describes that the Forgotten Realm was due to a large scale destruction. Now I want to go to another fact where when someone of the Nazi radicals, I would say the Nazi radicals. And long time ago, Hitler was basically completed a 4-year plan, and he wanted to enable Germany to improve the efficiency of its domestic consumption of butter, all type of uh, just all type of things. Like he wanted his people to be the developed person of that. He put in a plan that was supposed to substitute everything when it comes down to all fat-based products. So, of course, they cut him off. Also, it was a time where I'm sorry, can y'all hear me? Well, it was a time where Hitler was big and basically like any many other companies or countries, might I say, Germany was sent expeditions to the Antarctic region in the late 19th and early centuries of 20th centuries, most of which were scientific. The first expedition to the Antarctica was the Gauss expedition. It was basically between 1901 and 1903. It was the first German expedition to the Antarctica. It was led by geologist Erich von Drygalski in the ship Gauss, named after the mathematician and the physicist Carl Friedrich Gauss. So now they were successful in their return in 1938, and they plans for a third Antarctic German Arctic expedition were drawn up. So now I believe this was well, all in all, scientists discovered a long time ago like that there was a secret base built on direct orders from German dictator Adolf Hitler. It was on the North Pole. For decades, the location of the mysterious site known as Scotch Grabble or treasure hunter on Alexandria land in the Arctic Circle had remained unknown. Researchers exploring the isolated land, which is now a Russian territory, stumbled upon over 500 relics, including the ruins of bunkers, discarded petrol canisters, and even paper documents preserved by islands' freezing climate. The supposed weather station is believed to have been constructed on direct order from Hitler in 1942, a year after his invasion of Russia. It was in service from 1943 before being abandoned in July 1944. Then its crew was poisoned after being forced to eat raw polar bear meat infected with roundworms while running low on supplies. The Daily Express reported, before it was only known from writers, but now we also have real proof. So these people literally was forced to eat raw polar bear meat. It was so cold out there and they ain't had no resource of food. That's crazy. So researchers found bullets, scraps of tents, and personal items such as shoes, many of which appear to be dated and marked with swastikas. About 500 items of historical value have been collected on the grounds of the former treasure hunter German station that operated on the Alexander Island of France Joseph Land from the 17th from September 1943 until July 1944. So just to let you know, it's been real, bro. When people try to travel to the Forgotten Lands, ain't no traveling back there. You can't go to the Forgotten Lands. Why is you trying to go back to where we sent your ass from? So now it's showing like where your ass can't come here until it's time for you to come here. When we die, it gets cold. In the Antarctica, it's cold. That is not a place for the living. That is a place for the afterlife. Because when you there, you're die. You're dying. You're dying. It's too cold for any human being to withstand. So when you go to the Antarctica, that's like basically the steps of heaven, the steps to heaven, or the steps to the afterlife, or the steps to wherever you going when you leave out of your vessel. So understand that we're stepping in God's temple once when we going in, we step into ourselves when we're in Antarctica. So why would you step inside yourself and try to think you gonna feel the same way when we're walking in a different part of the North Pole? You're gonna freeze. Your core is going to be shut down. So when we see that, we're like, wow, why do the body go in hyperventilation? Well, our body will remain its same temperature no matter what. Our core remains the same temperature no matter what. No matter if the outside feels desperately cold. It tends to feel significantly cold because the sunlight or the heat in us is in another place. So when we step into somewhere where that is very, very cold, it is like it's shutting off a generator. It's like basically your carburetor not starting because it's so cold. It's been frozen. Less sunlight means it's cold. So you have to understand the Forgotten Realms is the Antarctica area. The Forgotten Realms is the earth that we live in, which is Mother. The Forgotten Realm. I'm gonna show you guys screen share for a minute. I want to play this. Okay. Now the Forgotten Realms was created by the young fella, Mr. Ed Reed, like I told you guys. But what he created his concept based upon was the actual inner earth, which is Earth's core. Um the history of Agartha is really focused and studied in Europe, the United Kingdom. So this is what Queen Elizabeth allows their teachings to be upon their people, which is the truth, the natural truth. Agartha is a legendary kingdom that is said to be located in the Earth's core. Agartha. It is related to the belief in a hollow Earth and is a popular subject in the esotericism of Agartha. Now, esotericism is a Western belief system, also known as esotericism or esoterism. It's the same pronunciation. I don't know why they try to spell it different, but sometimes the Western mystery tradition is a term under which scholars have categorized. Oh, okay. They categorized it. So the new people categorize it the way they see fit. So a wide range of loosely related ideas and movements which have developed within the Western society. The ideas and the current united factors that they rely on. So the history of Agartha is that in the 19th century, some French occultists, and mind you, French is of my culture as well. We're gonna go into that too. French occultist Alexandre Saint Yves de Alavegre published the first reliable account of Agartha in Europe. According to him, the secret world of Agartha. Now, it's funny because Queen Elizabeth, she controls Haiti, and this is one of her commonwealth realms. And when I tell you guys that we're in the forgotten realms already, you guys don't take that to mind. But why do we have a queen that has commonwealth realms? Okay, so that's going to be another story and chapter, and all of its wisdom. So according to him, according to we, the secret world of Agartha in all of its wisdom and wealth will be accessible for all mankind. When Christianity lives up to the commandments which were once drafted by Moses and God. So it says, according to the basically energy, the secret world of Agartha and all of its wisdom and wealth will be accessible for all mankind. When Christianity lives up to the commandments which were once drafted by Moses and God. So whatever is watching over us, they know that we're not living up to any of the commandments which were drafted by Moses and God. Meaning when the anarchy which exists in our world today was replaced by sanarchy, Saint Ives gives a lively description of Agartha in his book. So you guys could look up look up Saint Ives and find the description of Agartha in his book. It was a place which really exists, situated in the Himalayas in Tibet. Now, when we were younger, we used to be like, um, oh, what's going on, my brother? Nothing. Just chilling in the Himalaya. Chilling in the Himalaya. You feel me? So understand Agartha is a place that our spirit is sitting happy, already proud, already knows. It is situated in the Himalayas in Tibet. St. Ives' version of the history of Agartha is based upon the revealed information that was revealed to him, meaning he received the information himself through attunement. Now, most of you might not understand what that means, but when that energy is ready for you to receive, you will receive it. Now, St. Ives was the author and narrator of a book in the 1920s. The book was called Beasts, Men, and Gods. Explorer Fernand and Ossendowski relates a story which was imparted to him concerning the subterranean kingdom which exists inside the earth today. This kingdom was known to the fictional Buddhist society as a Garti. All of the people before us spoke of this inner earth, which is the forgotten realms, which is the deteriorating realms. Haiti, Belize, Nepal. They were showing us all of the forgotten realms in our face, comparing it to financial woes. This is where all of our money is trying to be distributed to. The forgotten lands, the forgotten realms. So when we understand that Agartha is frequently associated or confused with Shambhala, then we would appreciate the Hinduism and the Tibetans for their Kala Chakra teachings. Because for because without them it wouldn't have been revived in the West by Madame Blavatsky and the Theosophical Society. Like if it wasn't for them, people would be still asleep. The Theosophists, in particular, they regard Agartha as a vast complex of caves underneath Tibet, and it inhabited evil demons called the Asuras, Helenas, and Nikolai's Rich, whose teaching closely paralleled these theosophy see Shambhala's existence as both physical and spiritual. So that goes to show you, without one, you cannot leave out the other. So we come from somewhere that we know others as well come through this same portal. And we all share the same traits. We share the same human, mental, spiritualistic traits. We share the same. We're in the physical, and there's things that we do not know. So we are of the forgotten realm. We are the awakened, the awakened people, the Arawakians, the Arawakians. We are the Arawakians. They are teaching us the English language so that we can resort from understanding our ancestors' tongue. So this is what they mean by God knocked down the tower of Bible. Their God, this deity's God, this deity's worshiper knocked down the Tower of Babel. So these type of things would consist. These type of things would be persistent and continuing to happen. So when we understand this, we will understand who ourselves is. We will understand we are from the forgotten realms. And there's nothing that they cannot keep from us. There's nothing that they can do to prevent us from accomplishing our deeds. does this say here? All right, I'm back, y'all. So understand that Agartha is just another form of saying this is where you truly from. We're from Mother Earth. We leave, we go, we come back. The Forgotten Realms. There's no other way to put it. Now, I never actually talked about Hollow Earth with any of my followers. And I know it's a deep topic, but there's things that you gotta talk about sometimes. So there's some certain things that you might not understand, and there's certain things that another person will understand that assists you in seeing a brighter light to the things that you don't understand. So that's all I am. I'm just a person that allow you to you know do your own research and kind of open your eyes to some things to better your spirituality and within yourself. Um, I feel like it's very valuable because instead of um attaching yourself to what people say of you or experiences that aren't so pleasant that you may go through, you can tend to understand, this is a life lesson that Earth Mother would like to teach me. This is a life lesson that God within myself would like to teach me. So these are the things that, I aim for, and these are the things that I focus on bettering in my own characteristics as well, and personality, and also my God conscious. Because without God, I am I am not. I am nothing. So it's just self-explanatory. Verbatim. So when we look at when most people might say, well, what kind of people are from Agartha? Well, Hollow Earth, you mean. Agartha is specifically Hollow Earth. So the planet Earth is entirely hollow or contains a substantial interior space, notably suggested by the great Edmund Halley in the late 17th centuries. So all the way back in the 1700s, they was talking about the Earth is hollow. There's something else in Antarctica, and there's a hole that you go into, and it's a whole nother world in that hole. So the notion was to prove first tenta- tentatively by Pierre Bolger in 1740, and then definitively by by Charles Hutton. It says okay. So basically, um they were talking about going and trying to figure out the The Earth in the interior space of Earth was completely hollow. So it was challenged by Pierre Bourdieu. He was the type of person where, well, if you're gonna make those type of assumptions, then we're gonna have to disprove it, basically show proof. Um, Either prove it or it's false. Basically, if you're gonna tell me the Earth is hollow, and you're gonna tell me that the Earth interior space is basically substantially hollow, okay, then prove it. Otherwise, stop talking about it. We have the equipment, we have the necessary machines to go and do the expedition. This is what we are known for. We are known for expeditions. So it was still definitely disproved by Charles Hutton and his co partner, which was named Schehallien experiment. Around it was definitely disproved with Charles Hutton in his Schehallien experiment. The Schehallien experiment happened a year after the 1740s when they were in conversations about the expedition. So in the 18th century, the experiment to determine the mean density of the Earth was founded by a grant by the World Society, Miss Queen Elizabeth. So it was conducted in the summer of 1774 around the Scottish mountain of Schehallien, Perthshire. The experiment involved measuring tiny deflections of light, probably, but we're not going to go into that right now. The first detailed the concept of a hollow Earth still records in folklore. What It is a premise for subterranean fiction as well, and a subgenre for adventure, for a subgenre of it, adventure fiction. So they have turned it in three different type of, what do you call that? What do you talk monetizations? So they monitoring the information about inner Earth through the folklore RPG games. They're monitoring and they're basically telling the whoever to promote the information the way they want it promoted in subterranean fiction. So you have to have it fiction at the end, so that you can know this is something that we're telling you that is unreal. This is unreal. So fiction, subterranean, they are monitoring it, monitor monetizing it through folklore. That is video games, all the Warcraft, all of those type of concepts come from the Agartha uh concept. It comes from the Hollow Earth content. So it's monetized through folklore, video games, stories, and so on, etc. It's monetized through subterranean fiction. It's also monetized in a subgenre form for adventure fiction. So it's they're telling you that Hollow Earth and the truth about Earth Mother is basically manipulated in video games, subterranean fiction, and subgenre adventure fiction. But nowhere but the Vatican Library can you understand and figure out the real truth about this earth, because nope, it's not in the Americans, it's not in the Indians' hands, but it's in the Europeans' hands. It's in the United Kingdom. This is why they have the Queen, to protect the information, to protect the royal assets. It's not hers. It's in rightfully owned by the owners, but they put her as a trust so that this information cannot ever get to the lower, which this fantasy that you guys are living in is being shattered into pieces. So when you guys ready to understand what Agartha and Hollow Earth truly is, go ahead and tune in to this video, because instead of going through the hypothesis and the experiments, I just take their information and I do um my own conclusion, because I know that information costs money. It costs a certain amount of money. And as a citizen, I know I pay for it. So as a man that pays taxes, yes, I might not have the resources to get the scientists and get the, that, or this, but I pay taxes in this circumstance that we are in, this playing field that we're in. I pay taxes. So I have every right to utilize these social advancements to better myself and to also better the people that leads and the people that come after me, after we. Because this is the same thing that the ancient people did. The Arawakians did. But the information didn't get to the people that it was supposed to get to. The information was put in the hands of the wrong individuals. And not only do they have to wake up every single day and look at someone and practice the practices of a person that isn't even of their origins, but they utilize our way of life for a monetary gain. And they don't understand that we know it. So before we ever become a German or a part of the Germans or the men that romance, the men that roam with Rome, the man that romance, I will continue being from the Taino tribe and walk with my Arawakians, because I'm a part of that. And I think that's going to be it for today, guys. I just wanted to get that segment down for you guys and give you guys the meaning of what Hollow Earth is. The next time we do a stream, maybe we can dig deeper in what exactly is Hollow Earth. And if you guys understand, Hollow Earth is a mystery till this day. Now, when you guys leave this stream, when you guys leave this video, I want you guys to go and check out. And those of you who skip through the video, if you skip to the end, please just Check out Agartha yourself. Arghtha. Just go ahead and do your research on that and just see what you find. And when I do another stream, I please welcome you back. I please welcome you back. And I want you to think to yourself, is this the forgotten realms that we are in? Uh what is this place in the whole of the Antarctica, beneath the Antarctica? And if your comprehension is as high as I expect it to be, why is Russia guarding Antarctica and basically like anybody that comes there, like you're dead? No, you're not coming over here where this Hitler hole is, and it's called the Hunters Cave. So anybody that would like to interject with me, I will be back on maybe like 9. Uh, you guys come through and deal with me, but that's gonna be it. So and even there was a young back in the day there was a even a naval officer by the name of Richard Admiral Byrd. He had an expedition to the so-called Agartha, but I'm not gonna give you guys that. I'm gonna give you guys that on another stream. So those of you that tuned in today, my next stream will be about Mr. Richard Admiral Byrd, the guy who traveled to explore the polar logistics, and he was a pioneer and American aviator. And we're gonna get on all of that. So subscribe to my channel, hit the like and share button if you guys would like to. Those of you who didn't tune in, it's okay. I'm not mad. I appreciate you anyways. Have a good one. Celebrities aren't cooler than this. So with that said, you guys have a good one. Remember, hit the notification bell and the like and subscribe button. Tune in to the next stream. Have a good one and cheers to everyone. Salud.